Hey, peace, y'all. This is Kevin Powell, a poet, journalist, filmmaker, human rights and civil rights activist, biographer of Tupac Shakur. In fact, the story that I'm about to tell is about the first time I ever met Tupac, which was right here in Atlanta, Georgia, back in the 1990s when I was a staff writer for Quincy Jones's Vibe magazine. There used to be a music conference called Jack the Rapper, and I was sent down to the music conference not to interview Tupac, because a lot of folks didn't know who he was at the time, but to interview Snoop Dogg, who at the time was the biggest rapper in America, coming off the heels of Dr. Dre's The Chronic album, and about to put out his solo album, his first solo album, Doggy Style. We were at the conference when my friend Carla Radford and I saw Tupac Shakur in a crowd of people in a hotel lobby. I was like, I'm not going over there to talk to him because there was a lot of people around him. I don't want him to think I'm just trying to sweat him like everybody else. Carla was mad bold, and she went over through the crowd to Tupac, said, "Yo, Tupac, that's Kevin Powell over there. He wants to write an article about you for Vibe magazine." Tupac spun around and he recognized me from the first season of the MTV's Real World, because I was a cast member of the first season. And he's like, "Yo, that's my dog. You my dog, my brother. I had your back on that show. I had your back on that show." And I was shocked that here I was, a fan of Tupac's, and he was a fan of mine. And then I got the courage up to say, "Well, you know what? I'd like to write an article about you." Little did I know that that first meeting would turn into 3 cover stories for Vibe magazine while he was still alive, and a 4th cover story for Rolling Stone when he died. I was actually in Vegas when he died. And I would spend 3 years just back and forth in Atlanta, in New York City. I interviewed him in prison, in LA, and again, I was in Vegas when he was in that hospital, sadly dying. But that's how I met Tupac. So that's the first time, and it changed my life in so many different ways. And in the next couple of years, I'll finally be putting out a book about Tupac Shakur that people have been asking me about for years and years.